The Alps have always been my playground, my sanctuary, and my greatest challenge. But nothing could have prepared me for the climb that would test not only my physical abilities but also my mental resilience and sheer will to survive. It was a cold, crisp morning when my team and I set out to conquer the towering peak of Mont Blanc, the highest summit in the Alps. The sun had just begun to peek over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the jagged peaks that surrounded us. The air was thin, and every breath felt like a struggle, but we were determined to reach the summit. As we ascended higher and higher, the landscape transformed into a barren, icy wasteland. The wind howled mercilessly, whipping shards of snow into our faces with every gust. Yet still, we pressed on, fueled by the adrenaline coursing through our veins and the promise of victory at the summit. But then disaster struck. A sudden avalanche tore through our path, engulfing one of our team members in a cascade of snow and ice. We raced to dig him out, our hands numb with cold and fear, but it was too late. His lifeless body lay buried beneath the snow, a grim reminder of the dangers that lurked on the mountain. Despite the tragedy, we forged ahead, driven by a determination to honor our fallen comrade by reaching the summit in his memory. But the mountain had other plans for us. A fierce blizzard descended upon us, engulfing the landscape in a swirling vortex of white. Visibility dropped to zero, and the biting cold threatened to freeze us to the bone. Lost and disoriented, we stumbled blindly through the storm, our only hope of survival fading with each passing minute. It was then that I felt a creeping sense of dread settle over me, a gnawing fear that whispered of impending doom. But just when all hope seemed lost, a faint glimmer of light pierced the darkness. Through the swirling snow, I saw the outline of a cave, a refuge from the storm that raged outside. With renewed hope, we stumbled into the shelter of the cave, collapsing onto the cold, hard ground in exhaustion. For hours, we huddled together in the darkness, sharing what little warmth we had as the storm raged on outside. Time seemed to stretch on endlessly, each minute feeling like an eternity as we waited for the storm to pass. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the storm subsided, leaving behind an eerie silence broken only by the sound of our labored breathing. With trembling hands and weary hearts, we emerged from the cave, blinking in the pale light of dawn. But as we surveyed the landscape before us, our hearts sank. The mountain had exacted its toll, leaving us stranded high above the treacherous cliffs below. With no way down and our supplies dwindling, we faced an impossible choice: stay and risk freezing to death on the icy slopes, or attempt a desperate descent into the unknown. In the end, we chose to fight. With every ounce of strength we had left, we began the treacherous descent down the sheer cliffs, inching our way along narrow ledges and precarious footholds. Each step was a battle against gravity, a test of our courage and determination to survive against all odds. But just when we thought we couldn't go on any longer, a miracle occurred. A rescue team, alerted by our distress call, appeared on the horizon, their voices shouting encouragement as they rappelled down the cliffs to meet us. With tears of relief streaming down our faces, we embraced our rescuers, knowing that we had been given a second chance at life. As we were airlifted to safety, I couldn't help but look back at the mountain looming ominously in the distance, a silent sentinel guarding its secrets with unfathomable indifference. And though I knew that I would never forget the terror of that climb, I also knew that it had forever changed me, shaping me into the person I was meant to become: a survivor, a conqueror, and a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human soul.